Hello guys, MonkeyBot here, back for another Evolve Stage 2 tutorial. Today I'll be talking about the second support of the class, which will be Tech Sergeant Hank. I'm going to be continuing to do these in order, unless you specify otherwise. So I'll be doing Bucket next, unless I get high demand for any of these three. So if you want to see Cabot, Sunny or Carla in the next video, or if you want to see Bucket as well, leave a comment in the comment section below, and if I get high demand for a certain support, I'll choose to do that one next. But if I don't, I'll just continue to do them in order. So I'll continue with Tech Sergeant Hank, which I've just recently got this elite skin here, which I think is lovely. Yes, Poncha is probably going to be very jealous of this skin because we're having a little race and I beat him, but oh well. Anyway, so continuing on. We're going to be talking about the perks. So, first perk, if you haven't watched my Hank tutorial, which I'm sure most of you probably have by now, it's quite similar perks. You either want to take Afterburners or Rocket Man. Afterburners, better for dodging, Rocket Man, better for kiting. Kiting, I gave a brief description in the last video, it's using your environment to your advantage. So yeah, I would be taking Rocket Man. Like I said, other perks useless. You definitely don't want movement speed. With Tech Hank, I'll get through it into more detail later, but you don't want to be in the domes when the domes are thrown. You want to try and stay out of the domes, which I'll go through later on when I get into the gameplay. So I'll continue with Rocket Man. Right, the perks here are slightly different between OG Hank because of they are very different in playstyle. Which I don't see a lot of people understanding yet. A lot of people play Tech Hank quite similar to OG Hank, which isn't. They shouldn't be really. They're completely different characters and they play very differently. The perks, there are some similar perks you would want. Quick Switch still useless. You don't want any of the top tier perks. Capacity, maybe it kind of favours Tech Hank a bit more than OG Hank. I still prefer to take Reload though, in my opinion. Right, DR, damage reduction. This I feel like is a lot more useful with Tech Hank than OG Hank, even if your dodging is on point. Because you're not going to be in the dome straight away, you don't really need jetpack recharge, because by the time you go into the dome, half of the dome time will probably have gone. So you won't actually need jetpack recharge because you won't need to dodge as much. So if you have DR, it will help you in all situations really when you get into the dome. But I'll talk about staying out the dome and charging shields and so on later on. It'll make sense a bit later. Same thing, thrusters, still good. If you want more dodging rather than DR, yeah, still good. All jetpack perks are really good. Jetpack efficiency, depending on the comp, you probably don't want it with Tech Hank. Class cooldown, I don't feel like is very effective compared to Hank. The shield is a lot less powerful. The shield burst is a lot less powerful, so it's not really worth it. And you can get your max shield before you go into a dome quite easily anyway. I find that I'm always max shield before the dome is deployed, even if we do get quite a fast dome. So I don't really recommend you take that with Tech Hank. Jetpack recharge, like I said, can be good if you want it, but for the length of the time you'll be in the dome, you don't really need it, so I'd rather take DR. Movement speed, like I said earlier, you want to stay out of the dome, so you definitely don't want to be catching the monster or being ahead of everyone else. Poison bullets, like I said in the last video, stick with Trapper and Assault. As a support, you should never take them. Reload, I feel it's good, so you can charge everyone's shields up before the dome. That is really helpful for me. So if you don't feel like you need any jetpack or DR or thrusters, if you feel like you can survive well, Reload will be a lot better for you, so you can prepare for the dome more quickly. That's the difference between playstyles. Tech Hank is a lot better at preparing you for the engagement, when OG Hank is better in the actual engagement. So I will take Reload this time. Rocket Lord, like I said, good for kiting, but you're not going to be in the dome a lot, so you won't need to dodge a lot. And like I said, useless. It's a useless perk. I don't understand why that's there. So I'll take Reload. Same with the superior perks. You don't need them. well, you do need them, obviously. They're the same ones you don't need in I've forgotten what that's called now. Major perks, that's the one. So the same sort of perks in the major as superior. Acid, you don't need them. Could be useful. Don't recommend. All exactly the same. So the same I said for the major is pretty much the same for the superior. So I'll be taking reload again in this video just to speed it up a little bit. Right. So now for characters. For the medic, you want to take Val is very good. Basically with the medics, you want to take a medic which can dish out a lot of damage or debuff the monster before it heals. So, for example, Kyra. Kyra is not such as a good medic, as brilliant as a medic as she is, and I feel like she's one of the strongest medics. You don't really want to take her with Tech Hank. The reason being, she can't really do anything to him, or she can't do anything to the monster. She's got no damage, and the speed boost does nothing. So you don't really want to be taking her. So as soon as the dome's deployed, she's basically useless. She's not doing anything. So things like that is things you want to take into consideration. Val is good. You can trank and put weak spots to do that little bit more damage before the shield out. Rogue Val, I feel, is the strongest medic for Tech Hank. So the reason being is if all the shields aren't depleted on Rogue Val, because of her heal burst, she's still not worth targeting because it just takes so long to kill a Rogue Val, and because you as a support will be outside of the dome. Rogue Val is the best at surviving on her own for the longest time. Laz, I don't recommend you take, because if you cloak and you have a shield on you, you are visible to the monster. The monster can still see your shield when cloaked, which is a really pain in the ass really for Laz. It's probably one of his biggest weakness. All of his dot damage, so the shield, the poison, the fire, is his biggest weakness. But so yeah, I recommend you don't take Laz. Quantum Kyra, yes, you can take, because she does take a while to set up. Same with Emmett, takes a while to place all the healing buoys. Quantum Kyra takes a long time to place all of her regeneration fields. Slim can be good. Yeah, you don't need to heal, but he does damage. You can continue to damage the monster. So either one, these three, so Val, Rogue Val, and Slim, to damage the monster very quickly. Or he's good with Quantum Kyra and Emmett, who takes a while to set up their healing. So I'm going to be taking Rogue Val. No, actually I shouldn't really take Rogue Val. Oh, actually no, the AI has been increased for Rogue Val, so I'll take Rogue Val. Now, trappers, any really. Shouldn't really make a difference. Any trapper you want. I'll just take Egriff for the laughs. Same with Assault. Doesn't really make a difference. You know what, I'll take Renegade Abe, just show him off a little bit. So, he's good against... Tech Hank is good against most monsters, quite balanced really. Maybe Gorgon might be a little bit powerful against him, but you can take him with anything really. So I'll just stick with Kraken because that was picked. So I'll get into the gameplay and I'll talk about the most efficient way to charge the shield. So he's got the laser cannon. The laser cannon is exactly the same as Hank. It does 14 damage per second. Not really worth doing unless you're being focused or on the chase. The shield charger is obviously, again, the main reason you would choose Tech Hank. You need to charge those shields before the engagement. I can't stress enough, which I'll demonstrate the most efficient way to do that once I get out of the dropship. I haven't chose Arena for this mode because
what was the deal with
so I can show you the most efficient way to charge up the shields, because obviously when the monster is damaging it's hard to show that. And the orbital drill. Orbital drill is, I find, it's a lot more powerful than the orbital barrage, and it's a lot easier to hit the monster with, but because it kind of does force the monster out of it, because you will take a lot of damage. You kind of play it slightly differently. You want to play it on yourself, but I'll get into that in a minute. So the most efficient way to charge up your shields, you want to use your heal burst as soon as you hit the ground. Why are they falling so slowly? So you want to start off with the medic. Use all of your shields on the medic. all of it, all the way down until it's completely empty. I'll start finding the monster at the same time, and then you just want to wait for it to recharge. And then Rogue Val, or the medic in this case, the medic's not going to be fully recharged, but after the second heal burst, the medic will be fully charged. So it takes 1 shield charge and 2 shield bursts to fully charge them up. E-Griffin will take only, like, as you can see, a little bit of your shield with the 2 shield bursts, and then you'll have the rest of it to go on to the assault. So you only really need 2 shields to be fully recharged to maximize your shields. So it doesn't really take long at all, like they're all fully shielded. It only goes up to half, yeah, so don't try to shield them any further. It takes 3 shield bursts to fully charge up your own shield, which can take about 2, maybe 3 abilities. So yeah, what I was saying about the dome placement, when it's going to be hard to demonstrate this with AI, but when there's a dome, you want to try and stay outside of the dome until either the medics or the the medics or the trappers' shield is fully depleted. As soon as their shield is fully depleted, you want to go in and start charging up their shields again. It's hard to demonstrate this with AI, but that's the easiest way to do this. Right, so that's basically the main way to charge the shield. So the laser cannon does 14 damage, same as Tech Hank. And now the orbital. The orbital is a lot slower to deploy, as you can see, as I'm demonstrating right here. The orbital will... Let me just test this out, because I do believe... No, it doesn't. I just thought I'd test that. There was moments where I thought the orbital barrage will follow the monster wherever he is, but I guess it has to be in a certain radius. So the orbital barrage, when it's close enough to the monster, will follow the monster's directions. If I can find the monster, I'll show you. But it follows the monster. What you want to do is you basically just want to stand in the orbital. When you use the orbital, with reload perk, I tend to use it as soon as I enter the dome, just because it does that so much damage. It makes you invulnerable pretty much, unless the monster wants to take loads of damage, so you can then charge up the shields, and as you can see, it's already nearly charged up. So that is basically... It's a lot simpler than Hank. I find it to be a lot more pub friendly. I don't think it's as powerful as Hank in a high level match. I do think that Hank is a lot better, but this is the most efficient way to charge up the shields. The way to use the orbital, literally stand in it. The monster's going to take a lot of damage, and so you either take a lot of damage or the monster takes a lot of damage. So that is basically it with Tech Hank. It's probably going to be a lot of a shorter video. It's a lot simpler than Hank to play. So yeah, as soon as you have those jetpack, not jetpack, the shield projector mastered, that's it. That's it, you've mastered Hank. So here we go. So ideally we would have been out of the dome right now, so I'll just pretend I'm out of the dome. So they're going to fight. I'm just be standing outside the dome, doing nothing, just waiting. Right, now the shield is down, I'll be coming in. I would have had an orbital by then, but I've wasted it. You then want to start using your shield. Ideally you would have wanted to use the orbital, but it's on recharge, so I'm sorry I couldn't show you that. So then that's the easiest way you do it. And then afterwards, when it's on recharge, shoot the monster until it's fully recharged. Once it's fully recharged, you then want to start shielding. Unfortunately the medic went down then. So that is the basics for Tech Hank. I hope this is helpful. See you in the next video, and happy hunting.